Oh my God. Proceed. I don't know how big that island is. Could be an acre.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to be back again with you and seeing so many familiar faces. Take a short time to forget these things. I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be here back again with you and seeing so many familiar faces. I think this is really where I belong. But for now, I can tell you I'm enjoying my newfound freedom. I think Honorable Malwa has wrapped it all up, but I want to spend a few minutes to talk about the practical challenges that lie ahead of a legislator who wants to be effective. Challenges that I have had to go through myself in the course of being a member of parliament, and challenges which I think those who are serving their first terms will certainly come across. I think one of them is the issue that was being discussed as I arrived here this morning in the previous session, and that is the relationship between the Senate and the National Assembly. I heard Honorable Oluoch say that maybe the word mediation between the two houses is not clear enough. I don't think it is mediation. I don't think it is legislation that is lacking. One thing through my career as a member of parliament that I noticed, and which consistently has not been addressed, is instilling in members of parliament skills in conflict resolution. It is lacking completely. In inductions for new MPs, that issue is addressed very lightly. And because it's addressed lightly, we end up in this situation, and I'm going to use rather unflattering words, where members of parliament resort to booing each other on the floor, insulting each other on the floor, sometimes walking out. When members of parliament walk out because you are not happy with the CS for Treasury, what are you demonstrating? You are demonstrating to the rest of Kenya that you lack the capacity to deal with that CS. You are behaving exactly the way a Kenyan behaves on the streets. When that Kenya has given you the responsibility to sort out those problems. So, how many of us here know those of us who find their seats so hot they can hardly sit, they are always standing and talking. But they serve one term, maximum 2 terms, no more. Who knew that Honorable Chris Malwa here would not come back as governor of Trans Nzoia? Because he was a very effective legislator, a very effective debater. So what do our constituents expect of us? Think for a moment, because Kisumu West, my constituency, cannot be the same as somewhere in Tana River. They are different. Each of you and how you relate to their day-to-day activities. So really that balance is important. Once I had a long discussion with now Senator Mongatana in the 10th Parliament, and we were talking about what we need to do so that we can be effective as legislators in Parliament, and at the same time, be effective representatives of our constituents. We didn't reach a consensus because his constituency in Garsen and mine in Kisumu were completely different. So that is a challenge that I think, ladies and gentlemen, honorable members, you must have to address. How much time to spend in plenary, in committees, and with your constituents. The other one is how, if you're going to be an effective legislator and have success, then how do you handle your supporters? I think here Kenya is not different from the rest of the world. You get elected, and in 2 months, those who are staunch supporters are the ones who are saying how bad you are. Is it because expectations are so high and you're not able to meet them? There are those who are supporting you during your campaigns who expect instant results. Maybe they want to be given jobs, they want other opportunities which you're not able to give. But again, a lot depends on the promises that you gave when you are campaigning. If you gave lofty promises, it becomes impossible to fulfill, then I think take the responsibility for it. I look back during my period as a member of parliament and now out of parliament, and I don't regret. I feel satisfied. I did what I could, and now I do something else. And I would like that to happen. Many of you are doing second terms and third terms here are familiar with the faces of former MPs that you see day in, day out in parliament. They come in the morning as if they're coming to work. They stay in the evening and they go home when you go home. But in the course of the day, when they bump into you and they know you, they want fare or they want lunch. Do you look at that situation and say, God, please don't let me get to that level when I leave parliament? Many of you came here as professionals and business people, even maybe moneyed. But now you look at your bank balances and you say you are now poorer. Why is that? Do you do simple mathematics? How much money you are spending from your resources? How much you are getting from parliament? Is it commensurate? You may not realize it, but you are drawing yourself into a hole slowly, slowly, slowly. And one day when you get out of parliament, you'll be one of the poorest Kenyans. How do you ensure yourself against that situation? Lastly, ladies and gentlemen, here we are looking at challenges. Parliament takes time, PSC takes time for us to look at these practical experiences together. Something that again PSC has to address from my experience is this. Towards the end of the term of parliament, there should be a program like what we have at the start of the term, when you are inducted and we have these post-election seminars. We also must have post-parliament seminars. How do you live after parliament? I'm trying to go through that myself. And I think I'm looking back at my experience and what I've been able to do and what I'm doing now, I feel satisfied. But I don't think all of us will be that fortunate. I heard you. So I think PSC must come with a program that members of parliament towards the end, you are talked to with those who know how to handle pensions, those who know how to handle life after retirement. Because otherwise, you leave parliament and in 2-3 years, you are dead. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening to me.
Yeah, let's wrap up this session with questions. I will start with that's Honorable who? No. Honorable Mutunga. Honorable Mutunga, the gracious lady. Honorable who? Oh, Donya. Oh, that name cannot. I can't miss that. I can. Oh.